Well, it's pretty interesting how we all just drive right through our towns, through our neighborhoods. We never stop. This is a chunk of town land that apparently has a trail, and I've been driving by it forever. Well, today, I'm finally going to stop, get out, and explore. And not even being in off the road 30 feet, there's a nice old wall here, and the trail goes between the wall and the water, so that's our option, and that's the way we're gonna go. Well, I'm not sure how far I'm going to get, but here's something of interest. When I first walked in, I thought I saw like an old cart path type situation. Look at this, it's embanked and I can actually see rut marks, so something was leading out that way, but I don't know, it looks beaver dam to me. Wall corners off here, and absolutely that road is embanked right there. It's actually what's holding the pond in on this side. Wow, what a mess. So yeah, right here is the embankment, the old road. So if you're new to the channel, I'm in New Hampshire. I'm out looking for history. I'm out reading the landscape to find things like that wall, which is probably from the 1700s. This pond, well, apparently seems to be enlarged over time, because I'm sure the road didn't go under it way back when. And just to get out and explore on a beautiful spring day is always wonderful, but I'm just really curious as to what is way out there. The two roads that corner off this property are no more than 50 years old, so it makes me curious as to what farm, old home site, this wall belonged to. Same thing. If this cart path cuts through here, it's far older than the road I parked out on. Well, apparently I have to find a place to cross this. Well, I made it across, as you can apparently see. So what I'm doing is I'm mapping my town, but I'm doing it not on the setup of current roads, home sites. I'm looking for the old stuff, the lost history, 1700s, 1800s. So now this new information I can take back for the Historical Society is that there is an old road that goes right under this pond, and the outside wall has become a retaining wall for all this water. So it goes that way, and we're definitely going to follow it. Well, we're definitely walking through a logger's landing. Surprise. There's piles of old stuff all around, and you can tell that the ground has been pushed back. So think about it. If the road out there is roughly 50 years old, the old road is who knows how old, but it's had enough time to collect a pond. It's probably been a long time since loggers were in here. Snow, huh? Well, I'm just coming into the top of the pond here, and impressively the beavers has been doing a remarkable job. Oh, I see iron. No idea. It's old, doesn't mean we're near a home site. Could have been dragged out and dumped out, but still, another layer of time. So the path over here continues to hug the side of the pond, and then there's another one that branches off to the right, so eek, I'm going to split the difference through the middle and see if I can keep an eye on both. Alright, I'm leaning slightly over to the right. Oh, look at this. I don't know how many of you remember last summer on a not Thursday, I went out and I followed some old telephone lines. You know, now the more I look at these utility poles and think about it, if I recall, I remember on an old topo map of a strange thing that stood out that said telephone, and it literally cut right across town. No following roads or anything. Yep, that's exactly what this is. These are the toppers where the insulators would go. And look at this, right over here is what's left of a telephone pole. So that's pretty interesting, and for those of you who didn't see it, I'll link it at the end of this video so you can check it out. I wondered where that line had gone when I had followed it as far as I could get. Well, it's broken up by a pond and stuff. Alright, well that's the one that goes off to the right. I'm directly in the middle of those two trails, and I can see a big wall out there that I was unaware of cutting through this part of town. So let's go check that out. Yeah, there's more of the poles. And actually, we got a wall coming out of the north. Well, the telephone road blasts right through the colonial wall at an angle, and then I can actually see a corner off, and it still keeps going. So why is this all so fascinating? Here I am in 2019, and I'm walking down this old telephone road, which is from the early to mid 1900s, has been out of use well over 50 years. I'm sitting on a wall that was built in the 1700s, and I parked on a road that little section is probably 50 years old. It's just all the layers of time and the different things that have happened. These stone walls definitely belong to a farm, but I have no idea where, because everything has changed so much that in this part of town it's hard to tell what walls and squares belong to what farms. This is what happens when episodes get broken up. I don't think that telephone road ends up where I think it ends up. Makes me think this is another line coming off of it. Huh. Alright, so I've made up my mind. I'm not going to follow the telephone road. We're going to save that. So those of you who didn't see that video can go back, check it out, and then I'll get back out here and follow it. We're going to head inside these squares and see if we can catch up with that trail that was going beside the pond. Wow, this is a pretty beat game trail right here. Yep, there's a circumstance of time. The wall we were following back towards the pond goes right under the pond. Geez, I wonder how far back that's flooded. There's a work in progress. Well, this has been interesting. So my town is 40 square miles, and although I've been doing this for years, going out exploring, collecting data, mapping, there are so many little spots like this that I just haven't gotten to yet. And as you guys saw coming in, we have an old flooded road, probably a couple hundred years old. We have the walls from old farms, probably 1700s. We found a chunk of old telephone, you know, like an access road from 50, 60 years ago. And something here I want to point out of interest. So this brook runs through here. We're on what I'm assuming is the outside of those pastures. But this side is different than that side. Over there, if you can see, all those stands are very tall and don't have many branches all the way up. And you see how clean the ground is compared to over here. There's a lot more smaller stuff. The ground is an absolute mess. That means that that growth over there is a lot older. Just the fact that the ground is that clean means that that has been sitting like that for a long time, where this has not. So that's just a general woodsman observation. that I want to share with you, but we gotta get out of here soon. Ah, holy crap, you guys ain't gonna believe this. So as I'm walking back, right, I'm trying to pick up that junction where we turned, and I just kept following the trail and no other signs of telephone lines. So I just came back around, saw this little indentation in the ground, heading for the pond. Look at this. It's a telephone pole. That means that this line went right under here, and we are a couple 100 feet up from where we just left. So that means this thing has been flooded. This pond is not as old as I would have presumed. So we definitely need to get on the other side real soon. I ain't crossing that, believe me. Huh. Well, some parts of it make more sense as to why that line was kind of broken up in a mystery to me. I'm gonna have to go back through old aerial photos and see when this pond was born. Wow, we're gonna have lots of things to do on Not Thursdays. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed that. You gotta get out and explore your world. This is one of the coolest hikes I've had this spring because it's in my own area, and I made some fascinating discoveries linking to local history. I'm right back where I parked, and it was this little lip right here that set my imagination in motion. You just gotta go out and look at stuff, pick it apart. Why is that like that? When is it from? You know what I mean. I'm glad you came with me. We're definitely gonna have a lot of things to film on Not Thursdays. In particular, we gotta get back and follow that line, both sides of the pond, and then try to figure out where these walls went to in the respect of old farms. All right, I'm out of here. I'll see y'all soon. Until next time, enjoy your Not Thursday.